Hello, my African brothers and sisters. How are you? This is Teacher Kaitesi. Okay, so I'm back today to talk about a few things that the Spirit of God has been telling me to talk about. Okay, one, I want to talk about how we perceive religion and how it's driving us. Two, I want to talk about those contracts that Chosen made with families. Okay, let me talk first about judgment. When we tell people, when you hear Christians in churches telling you that do not judge, that when someone does something, don't judge them, that means that they are saying don't question them. Don't question. Don't judge goes with not questioning. If you're not going to question, you're not going to judge. If you're not going to judge, you're not going to question. It goes hand in hand. You cannot not judge and then question. Okay? The moment you question something, that means you're judging whether it's right or it is not right. Now we are being taught as Christians not to judge. So we are being taught not to question. You see the problem? This is where Africa has got. This is the problem that we are having. We are being told not to judge. Foreigners come to our Africa, they come and do all kinds of things to us. But because mentally you have been over time told not to judge, you don't question until it gets to a point where it's ridiculous. Okay? Because if you're not going to judge someone or based on what they are doing and what you can see with your own eyes, that means you're not going to judge or question your government. That means you're not going to judge or question your religion. Okay? And we all know that these ones all go hand in hand. Okay? Look at where Kenya has got. Look at how far Kenya has gone. Now they have broken. Look at how far it had to go. This is all because most of us are Christians and we have been taught that don't judge, therefore don't question. Now people go to the point of questioning when they are coming out in millions because now everything has fallen apart. Everybody is now affected. Now this is when they come out. You get? At the beginning when 4-5 could have come out and questioned because they judged, they were told do not judge. So they kept quiet. They became 20. They became 1 million. They became 5. They became more. Now look at what's happening. This is all because of the teachings of don't judge. Okay? So please, be serious. Let's be grown-ups. Me, I'm talking to grown-ups. Now let's go to the contracts. The other day I told you that when these people are beginning to fall, they are falling. I told you that they're falling. The ones who took our destinies, the ones that took what was ours, they went and used it badly. That was the problem. Now because they used it badly, they are falling. And when they fall, please, like I told you, don't rush there. Don't rush there. Otherwise, it will spill on you. Okay? I'm going to give you an example that came out very well. Look at what happened in Kenya. Look at what happened in Parliament. Do you realize that according to the Kenyan constitution, all those who were sent away, the politicians that were sent out of Parliament, they will never be in another government institution. They will never be voted again. They will not be voted in their home area where they come from to do any work on behalf of the Kenyans. Those politicians are done. Is there more proof? Do you need more answers? That one has given you itself. Some of those politicians have been stealing and adding and, they had made it their thing. It is, they come, they wait for the next season, they steal, they give them, they steal. But this time, they are not coming back. That is according to the Kenyan constitution. Everybody who was sent away by the president from Parliament, okay, is not coming back in any governmental positions again in Kenya. Ever. That is what it is. That is the fall that I'm talking about. They are going to fall and fall so hard that that's it. That's it. Why? Because they were given power. Okay? When these people made these contracts, they promised our father that they would use them well, that they would do their due. They didn't. Now they have fallen from grace. That's what it is. When you annoy God, and that's it. That's it. I'm telling you, in 2 to 3 years' time, we can look in on those politicians and we'll find that they are in the village. And they want to do well in the village. They won't. Because they cheated their people. They never did much for their people. Their people are angry. So they will not be doing well in 2 to 3 years. In fact, by the end of the year, many of them will be in a different position. This is happening. This is happening. Now, you chosen one. You who is in the family. You who knows very well. I don't know if everybody remembers their contract, but for me, I remember mine. You have more than one contract. You have probably 3 and more. Because don't deceive yourself, please. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But you have a contract in your mother's family. You have a contract in your father's family. You have a contract in the family where you got married or where you're married. If you have 3, 4 women, you have contracts with those families where your wives come from. Every place where you had a child, you, the chosen seed, there is a contract that is attached to you. Okay? If you think about every place that you have been, it is somehow in line with where you got married, in line with where your mother comes from, in line with your father. Usually when you try and stray on your own, still you get there, you find yourself with a wife or a husband, and then that means you are there for that contract. This is why I said the other day that nothing ever goes according to our plan. We are always being pulled to the places where we have contracts to fulfill. Me, I remember my contract. I remember when it was in my mother's family, I made the contract with my grandfather and my aunt. In my ex-husband's family, it was my ex-husband and his mother. I never saw the rest, the father and the sisters and the brother. In my dad's family, it was my stepmother, her children, and my father. They were all there. But my stepmother was the one in the forefront for the contract. I had thought that this story would not be necessary for me to share. But Spirit told me to share it. Because so many people are struggling to understand whether the contract is with their family. Some people feel like, do I have a contract with my dad? Can I possibly have a contract with both my parents? Yes. Okay. You're probably struggling with that. Do I have a contract? Is there a contract between me and my father? Yes, there is a contract. We have I don't know at which point this flipped. It's like we have amnesia. Because for me, I remember these not being my parents. The parents who I have today. And you see, for me, this is why I got a lot of trouble with my family. Because I broke. In 2012, for me at the end of that year, I broke and everything came back. I could remember my family. There's a friend of mine who I have always liked. I've always been close to her. Not that we're in the same school, but we're in the same circles. But she had her own friends, I had my own friends. But every time we met, I'm always drawn to her. She is part of that where I came from, how that contract was made. She is part of those contracts. I remember her being there. I remember people who were there in that time, whether it's a time, whether it's a different season, but I remember them. There are people I remember. Okay? Then we were told, you're going to go and meet certain people, you're going to help them, you're going to give them your power for a time and a season. They promised that they're going to use it well to do good. They were being given a second chance. Like I told you, they were broken. They were poor, they were unwell, they were sickly, they were not doing well. So it was like a last chance, like redeem yourselves. But they can't get power from the Almighty it is done through the children. It is done through the children. It is done through us. Okay? So they send us to these families. We come and we are part of those families. And then that power is taken from you. How for them they take it. How they do their sacrifices, how they do their juju, their voodoo, their things, their spells. It is how them they operate. I don't know whether it's generally how this planet operates, but this is how for me I have found. This is how they take it. Okay? This is how they take it. But we were told, and our parents told us we're going to lose this power. But our father is a very tough parent, and he believes that we are capable and able to go through the tests and still be okay. Believes we have the strength because he says we are him and he is us. So we have his strength within us. We have endured so much. Because for me, when I think of what I've endured, sometimes I even wonder how I'm still around. But we have, and we all have endured very things where we should have been broken. But we don't. We heal and we move on. Why? Because our Father is always with us. His protection is with us. His love is with us. The love of where we come from is always with us. I don't know whether it's the amnesia that we have somehow forgotten. Okay? But for me, I broke and I remembered. And when I started telling my family, my people, that I remember, they started rejecting me and finding ways to make me seem like crazy. And probably I lost my mind for a while. But this internet, this is the part I thank God for, because I started finding people who were talking about these contracts and talking about these past lives and talking about these other places and all these things. And they were talking about things that helped me. And I realized I'm not crazy because I could remember. You know when you remember something so vividly and you're wondering, why is no one else talking about this? How do I... It wasn't that I could remember it. You know? And I could remember how I found them, and I could remember in this season when I went to them, and I could remember how things kept changing, like what I had been told. Okay? So it's like we have amnesia. We've forgotten. We think these are our parents, these are our families, but they are not. They are really not. They are really not. And this is why they are unable to really work with you and stay with you around. Because they know you're not part of them. For them, they go behind the scenes and they check. You're different from them. They learn from you. They take from you so that they can be like you. But the problem is they don't want to do the spiritual work. They just want to take what physically comes with you, the gifts, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work, and that is the problem. So our Father is stripping them of what we gave them, because he is the one who has the power to strip them. That's why I told you that we have to call back what is ours. Because what is ours is also crying in them. These people, once they take your gift, say for example creativity, once she has taken your creativity, they do spells and they bind your creativity in them. This is a temple. You know, well, this is a temple. And what they take is a spirit. So once that spirit of your creativity comes from you and goes into them, they bind it there. Because the spirit wants to leave. It gets in there, it realizes, this is not the kind of temple I would want to do. That's why when the witch doctors give them these gifts, they follow it with cuts and put medicine, I don't know, head, what, things like that. If anyone ever took you, it is because they were trying to also bind. Yeah, because you see, the things that they send to us, they come, they try and live in us, they find we're not agreeable. We are not like them. You get? So as a result, the spirit which they sent on you goes back to the owner. But the owner doesn't want it because the owner's space is occupied with your spirit, and for them, they want yours to stay. So theirs goes back knocking to the owner. The owner says, no, I sent you to so-and-so, go back there. And it's like, but so-and-so has chased me. You know? And then they're like, you go back. So they find a way, all of us, I'm sure, at one point or another. Because for me, I've also ever been lured. After my marriage broke up and ended and what, I was lured by a family member, like, let's go. And they do this thing, They cut, they put some medicine, it will remove whatever was done on you, like they were helping me. But in actual sense, they took me so that whatever they were sending stays. Whatever they've sent. Because they know what they've gone. Them and these wizards and witch doctors and voodoo people, they know each other. So by the time someone says, I know someone nice, it's because they have been there. Okay? They have been there. They have already organized for you. You're going there as prey. Yeah. So they actually lock certain things in you. Me, I went there, and when they did that thing, I realized I was a different person. So I knew something was wrong. That's when I started following this relative and saying, what did this person really do? And then, as usual, I started to remember that they were part of the other contract. These contracts are big. Wherever you have been to a school, you were part. You are going in line with that contract. All these, for me, all these three families, they have many other people through that family, through the other family, through the many other people that you come across who are all coming to you to pick that energy through that contract. Please don't feel weird. It's okay. You have your own family. Okay? Don't feel weird. You have your own family. You have your own. You will be fine. Just know it. Expect it. Okay? Expect it. There are many changes happening at the moment. You may find yourself being called to a new place, to a new position, to a new project. Always treat every project that it could be the one that pushes you to the next level. Good. That's why we are always having to do our best. Everywhere you are, be the best you can be. Don't work half-heartedly. I know they never pay us our worth. They never can pay us our worth. Not with what we bring to them. Okay? And they always try to give us less than what they should because they are trying to make us feel less. It's part of their strategy for you not to discover who you are. That's fine. That's okay. Okay? Because for me, I'm used to it. Yeah? But do your best. I do my best. I work excessively. I work more than everyone else. Where there needs feeling in, I feel in. If I can do it, I do it. I don't complain too much. Okay? Because I know that when I get rewarded, okay, our Father has trained us. That's why we find we're from here to this. We are trying this, you're learning this, you're doing, you lose this, you learn something new. You learn this, they take it, you learn something else. We're learning all kinds of things. Where when you sit in an organization, you can write what is needed from beginning to the end. Because you have been through all those different parts. Okay? So be okay with it. You do have a contract. You have contracts. But that's okay. They have ended. You have finished your work. So when they fall, like I said, don't be quick to, look at your contracts. And I'm in meditation with you. For those who don't remember their contracts, that the Spirit of the Most High reminds you of your contracts.